All right, episode 443 with our friend Phil Wilson is brought to you by the Big Berkey water filter. Now, this is a water filter that I would highly suggest you guys get. It produces amazing water. It's great for traveling. It's gravity fed. It's stainless steel. And our good friend Mike Adams over at waterfilterlabs.com tested independently 12 different water filters, and the Berkey came out number one for getting rid of toxins and heavy metal. It got rid of 100% of copper, 100% of arsenic, 100% of strontium, 100% of cadmium, 100% of lead, 100% of uranium. And here's his quote. When it comes to the reliable removal of toxic elements such as lead, cadmium, arsenic, and even uranium, the Big Berkey is the best performing gravity water filter available on the market today. Kate and I love ours, so if you would like to get one, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/443. And we're also brought to you by the Bellicon Rebounder. This is my favorite, one of my favorite machines we have. It's such a strange thing because it's kind of like yoga, how after you do a yoga workout, you feel like you just worked out, but then you also feel very relaxed as well. And the Bellicon is like that. You can do it right before bed, and oftentimes that's what I do. It's completely silent. They start at like $399. There's a warranty on it, and it comes with handlebars if you're afraid of slipping off. But it's incredible for increasing your endorphins and feeling relaxed afterwards. It's just it's a great way to tone your muscles. I love it because you can't really replicate this in the gym. I mean, you could, but it would be very difficult on your joints. You can't really replicate the gravity and the motion of the up and down stimulation of your lymphatic system and cleansing and detoxification. You can't really replicate that by going to the gym. And it's a longevity exercise. It's incredible for so many things, building bone density and increasing circulation and lymphatic fluid drainage. It's just awesome. So if you guys are interested in the Big Berkey or the Bellicon Rebounder, go check them out. There will be links on this page, extremehealthradio.com/443, and you can go and watch the videos and learn more about them there, and we appreciate that. All right, let's get on with this episode. All right, thank you everybody for joining us on another episode here of Extreme Health Radio. Really appreciate you guys being on the show. This is, let me take a look here and make sure I get this correct, so I don't want to make sure to lead anybody astray. This is episode 443. We're not doing show notes anymore in lieu of doing more shows per week. So every week we've got 3 shows coming for you. So I hope you guys are appreciating that, and we love doing them. So it's a lot of fun for us. So this is episode number 443 with Mr. Phil Wilson, and we want to thank him for stepping in on such late notice. We had a cancellation, and we were able to get Phil on the show to talk about the benefits of sweating and relaxed saunas and how sweating benefits us. And I want to also let you guys know, too, if you're listening to this and during the time that we are recording it, which is, let me get the date for you here, Friday, July 8th, 2016. Stay tuned till the end. I'm going to share with you some really cool information at the end of this podcast that I think you're going to really like. So stay tuned to the end of the show, and I'll reveal some cool stuff for you guys. But today we've got Phil Wilson. Like I said, this is episode 443, and he is the main man behind Momentum Sauna, that is one of our most popular products that we sell. And we're going to be talking about saunas, detoxification, EMF. A lot of people ask about EMF, and a lot of people ask a lot about near infrared versus far infrared and all of this stuff. Phil Wilson's been at this for over 36 years, and his website is momentum98.com, and we're proud to have him on the show. Thank you so much, Phil, for being on today.
It's always a pleasure talking to you, Justin. Always a pleasure meeting you as well.
Yes, and I heard you were going to be, are you still doing a lot of traveling? Because you're going to be up in my neck of the woods here pretty soon, aren't you, in L.A.?
Yeah, Yeah, I'm going to be in Las Vegas. Then I'm going to be in L.A. at the Universal City Sheraton for the Cancer Control Society conference that we do every year.
My goodness. Now, I have to ask you, is there any how do I best describe, or how do I best put this into a question? Do you get any blowback from the powers that think they are if you're at a Cancer Control Society convention with something like a sauna?
It's an alternative cancer therapy, so all the speakers are alternative.
So you don't get any heat from any larger organizations?
No one comes and starts yelling at us for helping with cancer. Sometimes they don't like that because it's sad to say. It's really sad to say, but sometimes it cuts into the profits of the pharmaceutical and hospital industry, or I call them the sick care or disease industry, and they call it the health care, which is sort of like, that's what the universe does sometimes. The negative power.
Right.
It calls it the opposite of what it is.
Right. Yeah, it's completely anything but healthcare, right? It's it's more like disease management, maybe.
That's a good way of expressing it. Very well, yes.
Or maybe even this might be better, symptom management, because they want you to just manage the symptoms, right?
Yes, exactly. And of course, dis-ease comes from disease.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, I wanted to ask you, I was just curious, before we get into saunas, I'm just curious about learning a little bit more about you on a personal level with your spiritual journey. It sounds like you have definitely a practice in terms of spirituality, right?
Yes.
Now, what is that all about? What disciplines do you do?
Yes, I do. Well, I got involved in meditating accidentally because there's nothing else I wanted to do back in 1971. And after that, I got involved. Paul Twitchell is my favorite spiritual teacher.
Uh-huh.
I've been basically studying under him since 1972. And you can actually make contact with whatever it is, Buddha, Jesus, any spiritual teacher you have. I chant the U sound, like the U,
Uh-huh.
You could do Hu, Nu, but the U sound is what I chant inwardly almost all the time, whether I'm conscious of it or not conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And the inner sound connects you to that which is, the all that is. And when you are within yourself, and when you do that sound, or you connect with it, you get into the moment, and the momentum. 98 is the name of my company, and I was given that while meditating in 1997. I was given the name of my new company called Momentum, and I couldn't get momentum.com, so I called it Momentum 98,
Oh, wow.
But then after I said, oh my gosh, what a mundane word momentum is, because I wanted something exciting, because I just always have had a fascination for that which is unique, having an Aquarius moon and Aquarius rising.
Uh-huh.
And so then after I said, it was obvious that Momentum was the name of my new company from the inner experience I had. And then they gave me the words taking advantage of the moment. Mm-hmm. and so I'm picturing my stationery. I feel like the Wendy's lady, where's the beef? And after I said that, they said, they said, propelling yourself into greatness. I said, wow. See, I didn't realize that momentum comes from the word moment.
Right.
And what I was doing is I had just let go of an old name. I was trying to find the word transformation. I was trying to find a company with the name transformation in it. And I came out of a meditation after being gone for a half an hour, and it just the word transformation was flowed back into the heart of that which everything comes from. And next thing, I'm in my body, I'm looking through my third eye, and there I see this beautiful, perfect lake. I call it a paradisical lake with a volcano-like structure that I learned shortly thereafter. It's called the Serpent Mound in the middle of it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just grazing, like there's a movie Bambi meets Godzilla, and I'm just grazing, having the time of my life, just observing the beauty of it all. And all of a sudden, out from the volcano Serpent Mound comes a ping pong ball or a lottery ball with the word momentum on it, and I heard it in the back of my head, momentum.
Oh my goodness!
That's how I knew the company, my new company name, was have to be called Momentum.
Oh, that is funny. So where does the 98 come from?
I couldn't get momentum.com.
No, but why those numbers though instead of something else?
It was 1997 at the time, and I started the company in 1998, and I had a Dynamic 88 Oldsmobile when I was a kid.
Ah.
So and Momentum 2000 sounded too cliche.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to keep intact the momentum with no other letter, not Momentum A or Momentum Z, and I thought putting a number on would keep the word momentum being special.
Oh, okay.
Because, the law of momentum will always overcome the law of inertia. Did you know that?
Yes. Yes.
When I was in 7th grade, they said that, when you have an immovable object and an irresistible force, what happens? And most people think that's a stalemate, and that's what we all decided in 7th, 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. There's a spark of life in every cell, in every being, in every soul. There's a spark of life that wants to grow and unfold and become one with where it came from.
Uh-huh.
And that's the law of momentum. And the law of momentum, the rock eventually will become, like there's a poem by Rumi. I died as a mineral and I became a plant. I rose to animal, and from there I became a human, and from there an angel. And when have I never been greater by dying, lest me become like angels blessed, or something like that.
Right.
And so, basically, when the law of momentum, when momentum comes, no matter how stubborn the rock is, one day it will become a plant. It's just the spark of divinity in every soul is always reaching out to become, to go beyond time and space and experiencing itself in the heart of God. And that's what life's all about.
Now, you started your spiritual practice, sounds like 1970, 71, and you've been selling sort of health tools since around 1980, is that right?
Well, I started part-time in 1973, and I started full-time in a network marketing company called Sanasu back in 1976, and I did that full-time, and then in 1980, I started spreading out because there was so much more than just a multivitamin mineral supplement with herbs.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of Dr. Christopher. I listened to all his videos, and it's just there was so much more. So I was turning people on to herbal formulas that helped, and then from there I got into selling massage tools. I was just inducted last year into the World Massage Festival Hall of Fame.
Oh my gosh, they have such a thing?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that. How amazing! The world.
Yes.
What is it called? The Hall of Fame for.
Well, the World Massage Festival organization has a Hall of Fame, and they induct, 10, 15 inductees every year for the last 8 years. And even though I'm not a massage therapist, I was inducted into the World Massage Festival Hall of Fame last year.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah. And, it's funny because, I started selling massage tools nationally in 1980. I was the national distributor for the Foot Doctor Foot Massager, and then for the Lalo Muscle Massager, which we still have, believe it or not. But then I started selling massage sandals, the Masseur massage sandals, back in 1981. And when you're at a show selling products like that, everyone who sells a massage tool will come to you and say, "We want you to distribute our product too." So before I knew it, I was selling about 50 to 100 different massage tools.
Oh my goodness! Wow. That's a lot.
But what's very, very interesting is that the Relax Sauna is the best massage tool in the world.
Yeah, I want to get into some of the benefits of massage, or not massage, but of sauna. But just to let you know, you're coming in. Your mic is popping a little bit, so you might be a little bit close to the headset.
I just backed up.
Yeah, you're popping just a little bit. But now the saunas, we've had your sauna for 3-4 years now, and it's something that I've always wanted to get into before we ended up getting one. But let's talk a little bit about why they're so beneficial, what they do to the human body, and why they're so great for what they do.
Well, as I was saying, the Relax Sauna is the best massage tool in the world as far as I'm concerned, because it massages every cell of the body is getting massaged, every cell. And that's what makes the Relax Sauna and FAR Infrared energy so unique, because it's different from near infrared, it's different from ultraviolet. because the far infrared energy, everything, according to Pythagoras, everything vibrates. And that's a principle that like vibrational medicine is becoming, or light therapy or healing light therapy is becoming the healing modality of the future, and the future is now. It is, the Rife machines, the Royal Rife, that was all frequency, all vibration. The Relax sauna sends out a particular frequency of far infrared energy between 4 and 14 microns. Now, the human body and all mammals vibrate around 9.4 microns. And water vibrates at about 8 microns. And so if you walk down the street and see yourself, usually you're going to smile and there's going to be a love bond. Or if you see your wife and she's half a block away, instantly there's going to be a warmth that's being shared. And that's like a resonance. So when you sit in front of far infrared energy between 4 and 14 microns, all the water cells in your body are going to, it's a love bond. It's a love bond. And so what they say in scientific measures, it resonates the water cells in your body.
So it affects every single cell, the cells in your feet, your toes, your head, everything. And
that's because the water cells will start vibrating and pulsating. It turns out that what happens is the angle of the hydrogen and the oxygen, the H2O, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, that when the far infrared energy is in the presence of your water cells, and it goes deep into the body, it doesn't stop at the skin like near infrared does, but it penetrates. And it resonates with the cells pulsating every water molecule. The angle changes the hydrogen and oxygen molecule. That gets the water molecule smaller.
Okay.
The water molecule smaller, since blood's 80% water, the blood cells are going to get smaller. And so what happens is, bicycles can go where cars can't, and people can go where bicycles can't. When you have a diabetic ulcer, as in, we have many examples of that. People have diabetic ulcers, and that's because the blood is too thick. It can't go and heal it. So when you start using the far infrared sauna, or I should say the Relax energy, because the Sky Eye radiator is a medical device, and you can also have that available for your people too, and we'll talk about that. But the Sky Eye radiator is a medical device, and when you put that on a wound or a diabetic ulcer, it starts getting in. We had in 30 days, it went from being miserable to almost perfectly healed. A diabetic ulcer.
Really? Where on the body was that?
In the ankle area.
In the ankle area. Interesting. Yeah. And that's pretty impressive, considering, the ankle and the extremities are furthest away from any kind of circulation. So,
anytime, I do about 20, 30 shows a year, and anytime we see anyone who's a nurse or a nursing student, I show them the picture and they are amazed. They're amazed at how effective it is. So
I got to ask you brought up near infrared, and a lot of people ask, they ask about the differences between near infrared, and there's an article online that talks about how the far infrared emits, because of the ceramic or black carbon elements in the heater. They claim that the far infrared emits stray electromagnetic fields that are extremely harmful. What are your thoughts about that?
I don't believe that they're extremely harmful. I think the fear of EMF exposure is 20 times more harmful than the EMF exposure itself.
Agreed. Agreed. Here's what I have to say about that really quickly before you get started, because it's interesting that there is such, obviously electromagnetic field radiation is a concern and is an issue.
Absolutely.
But the people that are asking about this kind of stuff are probably on cell phones, working in front of a computer all day, and not necessarily concerned about those issues. So for me, it's one of the things where I've tested it with my Gauss meter, my tri-field, and I get a little bit down. As with any device, any motor, mechanical motor, you're going to get something, even from like a Vitamix. I get some that comes up to about the level of where you sit in the chair, where you're butt sits on the chair, and that's about all.
Usually when we do shows, I'll test with my Gauss meter, I'll test the EMF outside of the sauna in the hallways or in the aisles, and when I get into the sauna, it's usually less.
Now, I was going to ask you about that, because that happened with us, because we have a really high EMF in our studio here, which is one of the reasons why we're moving here in a couple months. But so it's kind of hard to measure the sauna as it's sitting here, because outside the sauna, it's really high. Is there any kind of reflective, like does the silver lining of the sauna protect, do you think, from EMF coming from whatever room the sauna's in?
Well, I was surprised, because I know I tested, like, for example, maybe outside the sauna it registered like 1.3, and then inside the sauna was like 0.8, with the sauna not even being turned on. And when I turned the sauna on, it wasn't any different. I've tested the EMF in the Relax sauna, and it's about 1/4 of a green power juicer or a Vitamix, at the most, by the feet. And that's not anywhere near any of your vital organs. But the whole idea is we have a musician from the Philadelphia area who was in the sauna for 15, 20 minutes about 1.5, 2 years ago. And when he got in, he was reluctant to get in. His mom's got a cheap sauna, and he wouldn't even go near it. But his friend got in and just loved it. So he got in, and oh my gosh, he felt so incredible, so tuned in. And he said, I'm sensitive to EMF. I can feel the EMF outside of my feet, but it can't affect me. It's just not affecting me at all, because far infrared, number one, antidotes EMF. That's the most important thing. And it's so funny. People don't get the sauna because there's a little EMF by the feet, yet this is what it's going to get, the ill effects of EMF exposure out of the body, because it vibrates with the whole cell. It's a vibrational thing. The Relax sauna energy, the far infrared energy, resonates with the water cell. Every water cell starts pulsating. Therefore, every cell starts pulsating, and it's like every cell in your body is dancing. It's dancing, and it's like if you have 100 people in a room and it's dancing, it's going to get hot. So this vibrating or pulsating or being massaged of every cell is going to increase the core temperature of the body, and that's what releases the toxins.
All right, so I got to ask you, what is the difference? Because in this article I was reading, it was talking about far infrared and near infrared, and one of the reasons that they were saying that this article was stating was the EMF from the far infrared, but it didn't really talk about what is far infrared and what is near infrared, and why do some people think one is better than the other?
Well, I think there is some health benefits from near infrared. I haven't become clear on it yet, though. But it's very funny, because there's fundamentally no research on near infrared. I shouldn't say that. I've looked and looked and looked, and there's so much research on far infrared ray. There are thousands, tens of thousands of articles about the benefits of far infrared ray. I went to YouTube about a month or two ago, and I watched about 10, 15, 20 videos on near infrared, and it was very interesting, sort of like ironic, to see them talking and saying about that near infrared does all these things that far infrared does. Then they said far infrared doesn't do that. I said, wait a second, something's not right, And it's like, by definition, definition, far infrared energy is between 4 and 14 microns. We vibrate at 9.4 microns. So therefore, we resonate with this, and far infrared ray penetrates the skin and resonates with every cell of the body. It penetrates deeply. It gets all of the cells in unison working together, where they're all massaging each other. It is such an incredible experience when you get into the Relax sauna and you just go in there. You feel rested, you feel relaxed, you feel integrated, you feel everything is in sync. Everything moves into harmony, and toxins and stuff, and the whole integrity of the cell. And the far infrared goes to the boundary of the cell. When Bruce Lipton, who wrote the book, The Biology of Belief, when he talked about how do you define a boundary of the cell? And he said it's a semiconductor. A semiconductor is what filters out the stuff that you don't want. And so the Relax Sauna chip is unlike any far infrared, any infrared technology. It's different because the Relax Sauna chip is a semiconductor chip, and the semiconductor chip filters out the near infrared, so you don't have any near infrared, maybe 2%, 3%. Near infrared in the Relax Sauna. If you go by a heat lamp, which is what the near infrared saunas use, that's going to feel good if you've never done a heat lamp. But just like those heating blankets that get you warm, that's near infrared. That's not far infrared. And the heating blankets they've been using for dozens and maybe 100 years, that doesn't do what far infrared does. It's not the same energy. It doesn't near infrared by definition does not resonate with the cells of the body, so it just gets the skin hot. It gets the skin hot. It does not penetrate. Far infrared by definition resonates because your vibration is 9.4 microns or 8 microns. Between 4 and 14 is the same, but 2 and 1 is too far away to resonate. It doesn't get in. The filter, the skin acts as a boundary and does not let it in.
I was asking you a couple minutes ago about how you said that it activates the water molecules in the entire body.
Yes.
But with the far infrared, people use it in different ways, obviously, and you've probably heard all the different ways people use it. But the way it's meant to be used is that your head sticks out. What are the benefits of that? And does the far infrared penetrate the skull and get into the head?
Well, it does all the water molecules in the body. It does the blood. And so the blood circulates throughout the head and the whole body.
Okay.
So the whole body is being now a lot of times, now my wife in particular, she puts her head in about 80% of the time. I put my head in about 50% of the time, and I like to give people the option. I say we're pro-choice. We give people the choice to put your head in or out.
It's so how often does your wife and do you use it?
Well, I use a sauna probably 30 minutes almost every morning. Today I just used it for 10 minutes because we had this interview. But a lot of times I'll use it for 20 minutes, get out, take a shower, drink some water, and then do it again 2 or 3 times on that spa day for Phil, and I feel like I've been at the spa for 9 hours. Yeah, it's amazing. So we have a really interesting video. Are you familiar with the work of Dr. Rhonda Patrick? I think so. Yes, I think I am.
She's a younger lady, and there's a video of her on our sauna page, and she is just, I don't know what level of genius she is, but she is one of the smartest people I've ever heard. She has two videos, and she talks about all the effects of far infrared and sauna usage, and she says death from cardiovascular disease was 50% less likely by the 20-year follow-up in men and women in sauna use of 4 to 5 times per week, as opposed to those only using it once a week. And so that's one of the reasons why I asked you, is that I use it every day. I don't think that's a bad thing, right?
No, I use it almost every day. It's like, do you shower every day? How come?
Yesterday I used it. I went for a big, long walk. It was just really sunny and warm here, and everybody was out down at the beach. And I went for like probably an hour and a half walk. And I came back, and I was sweating. And I was like, you get that sticky sweat because the sweat kind of mixes with your skin oils and things.
Yeah.
But I went into the sauna after my body was warm. And after you sweat from that, it's like you take a shower because the sweat is just clean. You don't stink. It's kind of bizarre that way, right?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, there's a lady in Las Vegas who's had the Relax Sauna for about 10 years, or almost about 8 years, and she hardly takes showers anymore.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
And doesn't smell, obviously.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But, I like to compare the Relax Sauna to a washing machine. A washing machine uses invisible water. the invisible water penetrates every fiber of every cloth inside the washing machine. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And it penetrates every cell and cleans out and washes out all the fibers. And we call it wet. We call it saturated or wet. And out comes the dirty water. Can you believe that? Well, similarly, the analogy is the Relax sauna uses invisible light. And the invisible light goes through our body and basically washes out the toxins of every cell of our body, the daily waste product and all the gunk in all our cells. It cleanses it in the same way that water cleanses clothes. Every single cell in the body is cleansed with the healing light, and out comes the dirty light. And what's really important is that the Relax sauna works with the emotions and the mind, and mental thoughts. It gets all the dross, all the gunk, all the stuff. It gets the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system communicating with each other. Far infrared energy is amazing because it's the loving light of the sun that actually goes through the sand and resonates with the water and turtle eggs. Near infrared does not go through the sand.
Now, near infrared, is that what do they use near infrared, or do they use far infrared in, those saunas that you see in hotel rooms or the big wooden ones? Are those all near infrared, or are some of those far infrared?
They're usually the rock saunas, and they're about 2% far infrared, 2 to 3% of the rock saunas. Now, the infrared saunas, basically, I believe in Japan, to be called a far infrared sauna, you have to be over 95% of the energy coming out of the emitters has to be far infrared ray. We've tested the Relax sauna, and the machine that tested, I understand, is like the room of a 10 by 10 by 10 cubicle room. I think that's the size of a machine that tests, what percentage of the Relax sauna is far infrared ray, and it's more than 95%. I think 98% is more accurate. The other infrared saunas, none of them can be called far infrared saunas in Japan, because the legal definition of a far infrared sauna is that 95% or more of the energy coming out of your emitters has to be far infrared to be called the far infrared sauna.
And how do they test that? Do they have some special contraption?
Yeah, it's a special contraption, which I explained is very large to be able to do that.
Yeah.
If you saw What the Bleep Do You Know, and they show this great big room where they do the light particles moving, and it's a big room. And I'm not sure. I've never really checked into the technology, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. But the main thing is it was tested, and usually other saunas never mention what percentage. It's like, I'm taking a vitamin C capsule. This has 5 grams, right? And you say yes. And there's another vitamin C capsule, same size. How much vitamin C is there? 1 gram. Well, they're the same size. They're vitamin C capsules. So the other, I think a couple wooden saunas I saw in their advertising a few years ago. One is 61%, another is 62%, but most of the others are probably only 40 to 50% far infrared energy, and that's a distraction. When I'm listening to good, pure music, I don't want anyone else talking in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. I was looking at more into this study with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she was talking about a study on 2,300 Finnish men between the ages of 42 and 60. And what they found was those using the sauna 4 to 7 times per week had a 40%. Now get this is bizarre. Those who used the sauna from 4 to 7 times per week had a 40% reduction in mortality from all causes.
You bet, because
that's crazy.
Far infrared energy. First of all, you're talking about heart. Dr. Steven Sinatra uses far infrared saunas. He's been using them for years. About 5-6 years ago, he bought 2 of them from us.
Oh, really?
But he's been recommending far infrared saunas.
We're going to get him on the show.
He's great. He really is great.
Yeah.
And of course there are hundreds, literally hundreds of well-known and famous authors and health professionals and leaders in the field of holistic health. When we go to these integrative medical doctors, one conference we went to, 6 of the 8 speakers all had purchased Relax saunas from me, in the past. And a lot of times I was at a show the other day, and 13 of the 23 vendors had purchased Relax saunas from us over the years. So the Relax sauna is really the leader in the field. There's some other good wood saunas out there, but even 50%. I mean, there's a book called Detoxify or Die by Dr. Sherry Rogers. She wrote it in around 2001. Mm-hmm. And she goes on and on. I mean, she spawned the far infrared sauna industry by her book, Detoxify or Die, because she put all the research together. She works with environmentally challenged people. A lot of people are sensitive to EMF, and I tell you, the Relax sauna is the best sauna there is for getting stuck effects of EMF out of your system. The Relax sauna and far infrared energy antidote EMF. It antidotes EMF. I can't say that more. Far infrared energy also antidotes sunburn, and we've had 3 experiences in the last 2 weeks about how a pain 6 from a sunburn, who would think you go into a relaxed sauna and all of a sudden the pain's gone in 10 minutes?
It doesn't make any sense, really, does it? But it does.
Well, that's because it's like omega-3 and omega-6. If you have too much omega-6 in your system and you take an omega-3, it balances you. Well, ultraviolet is the light from the sun that gets the skin hot, and it's so far away from our vibration as a resonant light being, resonating far infrared light, that we resist it because it's so out of sync, and therefore the resistance causes the skin to get hot. It causes friction, and the skin gets hot, and that can cause suntan or sunburn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny you said that, because yesterday like I said, I went for a big long walk, and I was out for, an hour and a half in the sun, and I did get red, and I remembered that, and I went into the sauna. I took what did I take? I made some carrot juice when I was done, and I took some astaxanthin, that are really good for skin and eye health,
yes,
antioxidants, and then I went in the sauna, and today I'm not really burned at all, and I feel great.
I mean, we were at a show, we've, been at a show. One lady was so sunburned she didn't get in, but 2 days later when she did, she also got relief. If you get bug bites, we had a lady who had a brown recluse spider bite and didn't know it for 8 days because she was using the Relax sauna every day. Mm-hmm. And then her acupuncturist pointed out to her that she had the residue of a brown recluse spider bite, and she never had any symptoms from it because she used the Relax sauna every day.
Isn't that bizarre? Well, I wonder how that worked.
Well, again, it's almost a spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. I tell people that being in the Relax sauna is the best we could do to get a step-down version of divine love in a box.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have to say, if people are able to get any kind of sauna, anything is better than nothing, and we're not trying to make this a sales pitch here, but, do your research and find something that works for you. If you like the momentum and you want to support our show, you can get it through us, but, I for one, I'm glad that I didn't get the big ones that sit in your home, because for a couple of reasons. One is not even aside from just the technology that they use, or EMF, or near infrared or far infrared, just for sort of practical purposes. I'm glad I got the Relax FAR Infrared, because one, I can put my air conditioner on in the room if I have to, and I can watch, like I usually sit and watch documentaries while I sit in the sauna, and it makes the time go by fast. And if you're in one of those big wood ones, you're kind of limited, and it's kind of boring, and you don't tend to stay in as long, and so that's going on. But then also with the wood ones, I don't know, I'd have to set it all up. I guess you bring it into a room and then set it up in the room, and then if we're going to move in a couple weeks, and I would hate to have to move that thing, but this thing I can just break down in like less than a couple minutes.
I was at a medical conference in Minneapolis last summer, and I had 4 doctors who had wooden saunas, $4,000, $8,000 wooden saunas in their home they hardly ever use because it takes too long to preheat. And all of them purchased the Relax sauna from me at that show. loved the convenience, loved the fact that the instant pain went away. I have seen 5,000, 10,000 more minor or major miracles in 5 to 10 minutes of people going in the Relax sauna, their pain going from even a 10 to a 0. I've seen that, a dozen times.
Now, I don't have much experience with other saunas. I've been in a few at different hotel rooms. My gym had one of those rock ones before they got rid of it. I know the ones at the hotels, those ones that I usually stay in, I usually have to call up and ask them to turn it on about a half hour before I get down there. The Relax is great because it turns right on and you start feeling, depending on the conditions in the room you're in, you can start sweating in less than 10 minutes. But and you feel the heat within 2 minutes. It's really quick.
Within 30 seconds.
Yeah, do other saunas work like that? Or what's the deal with how quickly it heats up like that?
Different saunas are different. I've heard some people tell me their saunas take as much as 45 minutes to preheat. I would say that most saunas take between 10 and 30 minutes to preheat. Mm-hmm. And frankly, when I want to do something, I want to do it now. And there's some people who are regimented. They got a thing going, and they're happy with their wooden saunas. And I bless them, and I say, great.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of times I'm at booths, and people they stick up their nose and say, I have a wooden sauna. I paid $8,000 for it or $4,000. And I say, get in the Relax sauna. It's 4 times, 10 times more powerful. And about half the time they bite. And when they get in, most of them are. One man, he was the president-elect of a Limes Foundation.
Oh, wow.
And he got in the sauna, reluctantly, but his friends encouraged him to go in. He went in. After 5 minutes, he was smiling. After 8 minutes, he was giving me his credit card. The next day, he said, you have to go to the Limes conference. You have to go to the Limes conference in 2 months in Washington, D.C. This is a year and a half ago. This is what the people of Lyme need. We went to it. I think we sold 43 saunas at that conference.
Wow. Now, has anyone ever done any testing? As you were saying that, I was just thinking about how cool it would be if someone were able to do like a live blood cell before and after the sauna, as well as I wonder if anyone has ever tested the sweat and found chemicals after getting out of a sauna.
They have tested the sweat, and there's way more sweat in the Relax sauna. They did research in Japan. There's way more sweat in the Relax sauna than in a normal non-far infrared sauna.
Are they finding
it's amazing?
Are they finding that they in that sweat is a lot of those fat-soluble toxins?
Yes, the heavy metals. Way more. Actually, even in the urine, they've tested the urine after you've been in the Relax sauna. You give urine before you get in the Relax sauna. You go in the Relax sauna for 15 minutes, and then the next time you give urine, there's as much as 30% to 300% more heavy metals in the new urine from being in the sauna.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, this is what Dr. Sherry Rogers mentioned in her book. That she says it's the best way. It's the best way she knows to get heavy metals out, and the only way that she knows to get phthalates and plastics out of the body is through a far infrared sauna.
Well, what's really cool too, you could, I guess someone that has a sauna could do this, but I'm just excited to do it with the Relax sauna, is that it's kind of flexible because you can do some really cool things. Like if you wanted to take super high levels of lipospheric glutathione or something like that, or do a niacin flush, and you can kind of, if you really want to take the detox to other levels, it's really cool because it facilitates doing things like that.
Yeah, glutathione is well known in the holistic integrative medical doctor conferences. They recommend glutathione, and again, many of these doctors have bought Relax saunas from us. It's amazing the results we've had. Also, there's a lady in Chicago who used the Relax sauna for the Clear Body, Clear Mind niacin flush, and she used the Relax sauna for an hour a day instead of 5 hours with a regular sauna, and had incredible results. She was just. I think she gave me about an 8 to 15 minute video on that I'll send you.
Oh my gosh! What's cool is if you could send it to me, I'll put it on this show page. A doctor friend of ours who we're good friends with out in Texas, he was saying that he was staying at someone's house who had a Relax FAR Infrared Sauna, and he was staying there. I think he was staying overnight, and then the husband and wife left, and they said, "Feel free to use the sauna," and all this stuff. And so he decided to take some lipospheric glutathione, and he took a bunch of it, right, and went into the sauna. As Dr. Richard Massey, if anyone's interested. But he went into the sauna, and when he came out, now I've never done this, so I can't attest to its truthfulness, but I have no reason why he would lie. But he said when he came out and he wiped his body clean with the towels, with the white rags, it was all like this dark brown sweat that was coming through, and he was embarrassed to give those towels back to his to his friends because they were just stained brown. Right, absolutely. Well, what is that?
Well, we've had a lot of people. There's one guy used some hair dye, and it came out black all over. But a lot of times, people, the first time they use the sauna, they'll have black gunk, on the towels.
Wow.
That's just the junk coming out of your body, like a washing machine gets gunk out of the clothes, and the Relax sauna gets gunk out. I mean, it's amazing what it does. Frankly, the cleansing, the purification you feel. I've been in other wooden saunas, and I've got this one lady from the colonic convention about 3 years ago, and she's from Alaska. She says she's been in wooden sauna for 15 years. She owns 3 of them, and she got in the Relax sauna. She says, I feel like dancing in the rain. I have never tingled from any other sauna as I am, and that's because the fact that, see, when you're deciding what kind of sauna to buy, okay, the most important thing is not what kind of wood do they use, because that's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with far infrared energy. You want to look at the emitter, the radiator, the generator of the far infrared light. And you can look at all the radiators and all the generators and the emitters of far infrared light from all the wooden saunas and all the other saunas, and none of them have a 95, 98% far infrared being emitted. And so, in a sense, that's the great invention. That's the technology breakthrough that the Relax Sauna Company, made in Taiwan, came through. They created the semiconductor chip. The Relax Sauna has 2 radiators. Each of them has 20 semiconductor chips, and they do 1,500 watts. At 98%, that's about 1,470 watts worth of far infrared energy in the sauna. And the purpose of the tent, the only purpose of the tent, is to be a reflector. It's a mirror. The only purpose of the tent is to be a mirror, and because you want to know how strong is the far infrared energy, what percentage is far infrared energy, and how close are you to the source of the far infrared energy. And those are the 3 factors that give you the most far infrared ray energy. And so the mirror effect of the reflecting of the light, and the moon's light, is the reflected sunlight. And people don't know 3 things about far infrared ray. It goes through closed number 1. It's reflected by a mirror, and because it's a light, it goes at 186,000 miles per second. So when you get in the Relax sauna, every part of your body is within like a foot of the Relax sauna tent. And that's exciting.
So the inside of the tent, is it like a silver? Is that why it reflects like a mirror? Or what's the deal?
The inside of a tent is blue nylon, but the far infrared goes through clothes, just like it does on a winter day to keep you warm and you close your eyes and you're cold. And just like it goes through your bathing suit on a hot day, or it goes through a sweater when the sun is hot on your back and you can feel it in your core of your body.
Isn't that
interesting?
It
does that, yes.
So it reflects, so it's the light that's being emitted, not necessarily heat.
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that bizarre? Yeah,
yes.
It feels just amazing. I wanted to ask you, we have a couple things here. Maybe you can give me some ideas on some creative ideas here for cleansing and detoxification and lymph. So I'm sure you're familiar with all of these things: skin brushing, rebounding, and then the sauna. Now, I'm a certified reboundologist.
Are
you? No way. That's awesome. I love rebounding. Now,
rebounding pumps the lymphatic system. Very, very good. One lady in San Diego, at the cancer conference a year and a half ago, got a rebounder at somewhere. They got the Relax sauna. She listened to what 3 of the doctors said. A year later, she came back and said, I don't have cancer anymore. My daughter loves her sauna. I love my sauna.
Wow. Now, with those 3 things, the skin brushing, the rebounder, and the sauna, what order would you personally put those 3 in? Like how would you go about doing those 3 things every day? What order would you do?
Well, rebounding, I suppose it's a good idea to do the rebounder for a few minutes before you go into the sauna. I think that's a great idea.
It seems logical, right? Because you'd be releasing interstitial fluid and lymph fluid, and then you would be able to sweat that out in the sauna.
I recommend if people do a workout, I say go in the sauna for 5-10 minutes before you do your workout, before you do your running, because just like if you're a massage therapist or a chiropractor and you're doing or a body worker, if you get all the fascia warm, you're going to have a much more effective treatment. If for 5-10 minutes they go into the Relax sauna, it's amazing the difference. Colon hydrotherapists also find a relaxed colon will release more gunk.
Yeah, that's why. Have you ever heard of those? We sell those things on our store, the squatty potty, those things you put underneath your toilet. It kind of helps you release more fecal matter because it relaxes your colon.
Well, also it puts your sphincter muscle and the whole colon in the right angle. I've been using those for years, and I mean, like 30, 40 years I've been using similar things like the squatty potty. Incidentally, if your audience has not watched, go to YouTube and watch the squatty potty video. It's the funniest, it's the best video in the world.
Yeah, we have that video in our store for that product.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
Now, with the skin brushing, would you brush before doing the rebounder and then do the sauna third?
Well, I don't know if I should say this, but I do my own skin brushing with my nails.
Oh, really?
After I'm in the sauna.
Oh, my God. But aren't you sweaty?
Yeah, and then I just rub my fingers and sometimes my nails, and it gets, and it gets all the dead skin off my shoulder area,
Oh, wow.
my back. But yeah, you can use a skin brush. That's fine too.
Yeah, because what I've been doing is I'll do, when I get really motivated, because sometimes I'll do the skin brush right before, I'll take a shower before bed and I'll do it then. But sometimes I'll do, if I get really switched on, I'll do the skin brushing and then I'll do the rebounder and then I'll do the sauna. But, either way, it doesn't really matter the order, I guess. But they're such incredible things to do all together, aren't they?
Yeah, Dr. Bernard Jensen's been recommending skin brushing for years, and of course his son and daughter-in-law both bought a Relax sauna from us many years ago, and she absolutely loves it. There are so many well-known individuals who have the Relax sauna and use it regularly. It's totally amazing.
Another cool thing about it too that I like that we haven't really taken advantage of because we haven't had to, but you can break it down and just let someone borrow it for a week.
It's travel friendly. It weighs 18 pounds. The chair weighs 10. It comes with it. You can put it in a suitcase. It's amazing how convenient it is. And that's, again, the convenience of the Relax sauna. The fact that it doesn't take up much space, the fact that there's an instant on. There's a Dr. Klasky in Connecticut, and he says what he likes best about the Relax sauna is the instant on. Uh-huh. And even John Gray, when he got into the sauna the first time, he said, I can't believe how good it feels in 30 seconds. Send me one. And Dr. Christiane Northrup, when she first got in the Relax sauna, she's on PMS. She's the one who wrote The Wisdom of Menopause. Mm-hmm. She said, I can't believe how good it feels in 30 seconds. And my hair doesn't get messed up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We don't have to worry about that, but women would have to worry about that.
Yeah, and her office ordered one a couple days later, and there are so many people who, we're the standard. The Relax sauna is the standard. And there's a couple of really good wooden saunas out there. But when people ask me, well, how does this compare to the Relax sauna? And I said, that's a really good sauna, the one they asked me about. Mm-hmm. And I said, but they don't have the technology that we have. They can't get more than 40, 50, 60. One of the companies is humorous. Since they can't get 98% or 95% far infrared ray, they decided to use one of those marketing ploys and say they have full spectrum infrared.
What does that mean?
It means they have near infrared and far infrared.
And so they say full spectrum, and I guess that would make people think, oh, wow, that sounds great.
Yeah, when in actuality they're admitting that they can't do 98% or 95% relax.
How long have you been selling the Momentum?
I started the Momentum 98 health food store in 1980. It was under a different name. We changed the name to Momentum 98, believe it or not, in 1998. But the Relax sauna we picked up in 2003. And before that, I was selling a cheap sauna. I was selling one of the cheap Chinese saunas, and I loved it. But, you know, when even the heat lamps, the near infrared, if you've never ridden in a car, okay, and you have a bicycle that goes so many miles an hour, and you can find a car that goes 35 miles an hour, you're going to be so excited until you find a car that can go 80 miles an hour. The Relax sauna is like the car that can go 80 miles per hour, or it's like the speedboat compared to a Viking ship.
Yeah,
you know, the Viking ship would be a wooden sauna, a high quality wooden sauna, but they don't have the technology that we have. And they're cumbersome, and they can't move as swiftly. And you know, I've been around the block. We've been selling the Relax sauna, and I've been using the Relax sauna for 13 years. I had another cheaper sauna that I used for a year. I loved it. I totally loved it. Some other people talk about the cheaper saunas, and they say it was junk. It didn't do anything. Or some people, like I loved it, but when you get in the Relax sauna, there really is a night and day difference. And there's also, you know, another, you know, all I can say is that if they don't have, see, the Relax sauna has a patented semiconductor chip, and I've never seen another sauna use semiconductor chip technology, because Planck's law says, and that's a law of the physical world. Planck's law says as you increase the intensity or the wattage, you lose the accuracy or the purity of the energy. So if you can think of a bell curve, and you can flatten, you can push it all. What the Relax sauna does, it takes all that bell curve and gets off the edges. And so the Relax sauna is like a pitcher throwing 98% strikes. And another wooden sauna that's a good one maybe throws 60% strikes.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good thing you bring up. But also just make sure that you're cutting out, and I think you're a little bit too close to the mic again.
In my excitement, I leaned up to the microphone.
Yeah, it's starting to pop just a little bit more. But that's a good point that you brought up in terms of there are a lot of sort of knockoffs, and this is one of the things that, you know, people listening to this think, oh, you know, there's knockoffs. They're going to try to talk about the knockoffs and things like that. But you know, there are knockoffs, and they look like the Relax sauna, and they look very, very similar. They don't have the logo, and you can get them on Amazon, and they're, I don't know, $300. They're pretty cheap. Now, I can't say this because I've never tried one of those, but I have done that in my life with lots of different things like blenders. I have this Bellicon rebounder now that I'm just so happy with. I'm just as happy with that as I am the sauna. But with the Bellicon rebounder, I must have gone through probably 4 cheap ones. I got them different sporting goods stores from Walmart. And once you kind of pony up and get the best thing, yes, it is a lot of money up front, but the Relax isn't that much money compared to like a $2,000 or $3,000 wooden one. But they are more money up front. But man, all I can say is I'm really happy that I did. I don't have any experience with cheaper saunas, but I'm just really happy with the Relax one.
Well, see, when you understand what the Relax sauna and far infrared energy does, the knockoffs don't understand. They're just trying. They really don't understand what far infrared energy is, and the Relax energy basically vibrates every cell in the body, and there's an integration going on of the cells. There's an integrity of the cell as it cleanses it and leaves it. It goes through the cell membrane. Near infrared will not be able to penetrate cell membranes like the far infrared energy does. And it has a magical effect on it, and you can't reproduce that magical effect if you don't understand the technology. And the knockoffs don't understand the technology. It's sad, but it's okay, because it's like there's on a scale from 1 to 100, if you get to 20 on your own, that's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're one. Am I correct in saying this? I may be making this up. I don't know, but you're one. Hasn't there been a machine that's been running for 5 years or 6 years by now?
Yeah. After 8 years, there was a power failure in Taiwan, but it was running 24/7. There's a 1-year warranty on the Relax sauna, but we have no reason to believe they won't last 10, 20, 30, even 40 years. There's no maintenance, whatever. There's a 1-year warranty, but of the 8,000 Relax saunas I've sold, only 2 or 3 of them ever had a problem with the radiator, and only about 15 or 20 any problems at all.
Yeah, I would imagine that people, if you use it for a long time, every now and then, maybe every 10 years or 5 years, have to, replace the tent because maybe if you don't clean it properly, the zipper might get stuck or these types of things. But the actual radiators, they seem really hardy to me.
Oh, there are hundreds of doctors and health professionals who use this in their offices daily, and even charge $40 to $50 for 20, 25-minute sessions in the Relax sauna.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you get out of the sauna, I do this quite a bit if I can. I'll drink some coconut water, or I'll drink something with some minerals and some potassium, or I'll take make a green juice right after. Isn't it important to remineralize after? Because don't you sweat out minerals as well as toxins?
My wife is constantly getting on my case to take minerals, trace minerals, and I do a little bit.
Yeah.
I do a lot of green foods. I do a lot of raw foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, when you talk about extreme health, you're talking about the FAR Infrared Relax Sauna. Boy, that's what's required if you're really going to be extremely healthy, because we live in a polluted world, and you need to get the toxins out, just like you wash your clothes, and the shower washes the outside of the skin, but what do we have in our house that washes the inside of the body of the cells, like a washing machine washes the inside of clothes?
Mm-hmm. You know what I love about the sauna too is when I'm in there. And I relate it to, just like you said earlier, spa day with Phil. It just feels really good to me to, when I'm doing the rebounder, it's more like an exercise. And I watch documentaries when I'm doing that, and I watch movies, and I love doing that. And I highly recommend rebounding as well. But when I'm doing a sauna, or when I'm doing like a coffee enema, there's something about those two things where it just feels like, okay, this is my little getaway time. This is my time for me. No one can call me. No one can, talk to me. This is just my own time. It's like I get really possessive about it. I really look forward to doing it every day.
A lot of people meditate in the Relax saunas all the time in the morning. I think 15, 20 minutes in the morning and 5, 10, 15 minutes at night is a great way to do it. It tunes you in. And it's really, I said it once and I'll say it again. Or people say they feel like they've been hugged by their grandma. Or they feel like they're in the womb. And I love saying that it's the best. In Taiwan, they say it's like being in the presence of a Qigong master. And so I've translated that into English. It's the best we could do to get a step-down version of divine love in a box. Mm-hmm. And it really feels, and what people like about the Relax sauna, who've been in many wooden saunas, is that there's an even distribution of the healing light. And again, it's light, not heat. Mm-hmm. It's the light that resonates with you, that sparks something inside your body to get your body tuned in and balanced, just like when you sleep at night. It does a lot of the same things. It's very therapeutic, very healing, and I can't imagine life without the Relax sauna. I would really have to drastically change my lifestyle, and that wouldn't be fun.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm going to be getting into this summer is I think there's tremendous benefit in the extreme cold, as well as, the sauna is not extreme heat, although you feel very warm and you sweat like crazy in that thing. But have you played around much with those cryotherapy, where you get in there and it's negative 300 degrees below Celsius or below zero, and you stay in there for about 3 minutes or so? Have you ever done those?
I haven't done that, but a long time ago, someone turned me on to doing a hot shower and a cold shower.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, but I love hot. I can't stand the cold, but I understand it's very I understand it's very healthy, and I applaud anyone who does it, who has the bravery to do that.
Yeah, because it seems like there's a gentleman named Wim Hof, and he's called the Iceman, and he does this incredible. You should look him up. There's some really great interviews with him if you haven't heard about him. And he does this stuff where he's in extreme cold, and he'll go swimming in water up in the North Pole and all these crazy places around the world to set world records. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great to do something like an ice bath and then do a sauna and then rotate back and forth?
Yeah, that's been a practice. When I went to the Rainbow Festival in 1972 in Colorado, they had a group sauna, and then everyone went into the cold Strawberry Lake.
Really?
Way back. So that's the technique they've been using for in Finland. With all the Finnish saunas, that's what they do. It's a healthy thing to do. Yeah,
the Russians are very much into the cold, and yeah. So you still think it's beneficial to do it even for 10 or 15 minutes, like if it's a really cold day and you don't sweat?
5 or 10 minutes, Justin. 5 or 10 minutes in the relaxed sauna with your clothes on. I recommend everyone do that. We've done I've put 100,000 people in the relaxed sauna at conferences I've done over the last 13 years, and I say people with extreme pain of a hip pain of a 9 or a 10, and they come out in 6 minutes with no pain. I mean, with their clothes on, and sometimes a very little sweating, and sometimes people feel so good they don't care if they're sweating. they ain't gonna leave that sauna. It feels that good.
Yeah, we've had a couple times here where it's gotten really, really cold for California, but it's gotten really, really cold, and the only thing to warm up really is the sauna, and you're warm within like a minute, even when it's really cold.
There's a man from Minnesota named Steve, and he got in the relax. He basically had the relaxed sauna for a couple of years. He did an experiment of saying, "Can I get my core temperature up to where I need it to be without using the sauna?" After 2-3 days, he gave up. He could not. It increases core temperature about 1 degree after 20-30 minutes in the relaxed sauna.
Talk a little bit about that, because there's some studies, isn't there? I know that Dr. Circus, who we work with the Biomat, and I know we were talking on the phone, I think, last week, and you were saying you have a Biomat too. Yes. There's some studies with that thing, and they're talking about raising the core temperature 2 to 3 degrees, and it has some incredible anti-cancer and anti-carcinogenic, anti-tumor properties when you raise your temperature. It increases your immune system, I think, by somewhere around 40%. Isn't that right?
Well, the relaxed sauna is one of the most incredible items that the Limes conference is, because the spirochetes do not like heat, and when you can increase your core temperature 1 to 2 degrees in 30 minutes. Or in 60 minutes, maybe 2 degrees. I'm not sure. I haven't measured it. We haven't done that. But we know that people get better. We know that people feel better. We know that people don't have cancer anymore. We have 400 video testimonies from people raving about the relaxed sauna and what has it done for them to increase their health and their life and to give them their life back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we just want to make sure that we stay on the up and up. The sauna, we wouldn't want people buying a sauna thinking they could reverse cancer or cure cancer, because we can't make any claims. But what it does do is increase your health, I think, a tremendous amount. And I'm just so glad. We've had ours for, I think, 4 years now. And I have to say, if I look back, I've probably used it on average. I use it about 25 to 30 minutes a day in the summer because it gets really hot. And in the winter, I try to go up to about 40 minutes. I've done as much as 55 before, but I try to get to 40, 45 minutes in the winter. So, and then I probably average around 5 days a week, if not 6, in the sauna. I just love it. It's part of my daily sort of getaway time.
Yeah, there's a man in New York, Alan Steinfeld. He's got some kind of radio show. He's very popular in the spiritual community in New York, and he's always at the New Age, the New Life Expo. And he just he takes the chair out and he goes in and sits on the floor
I was gonna say that to you. I've talked to people who do that, customers who've bought from us, and
yes,
that does not appeal to me for some reason. I'm not into that, but I like to have my head out. Do you ever do that where you sit all the way in?
Yeah, my wife does it almost all the time. I always come into the sauna room and the chair's out. I got to stick it in again. But I like sitting on the chair and then ducking my head and putting it over my head, and by learning to scoop my butt down in the middle to slouch. I learned how to slouch, and I'm very comfortable sitting on the chair in the sauna with it over my head. And sometimes it's the best thing in the world for getting rid of eye strain, for getting the sinuses cleared out, just for 5-10 minutes. Even the little Relax sauna table lamp has done wonders, and it is almost like a healing device in itself. It can be very, very effective for getting rid of the tooth infection, for getting rid of sore throat, for getting rid of earache. For actually, one person has her sight back from just using the little lamp on her eyes a couple hours a day.
My goodness.
It's the far infrared energy that's 98% pure. That's what does the magic. If you look in the panels or the ceramic chips of other saunas, they're just not the same thing as the Relax sauna energy. More and more every day. When I first got the Relax sauna, I said, well, all the saunas are good, and the Relax sauna just is a little bit better. But since then, I'm saying, oh my gosh, the Relax sauna is so much more effective. It is, I didn't realize that other saunas were only 30, 40, 50, 60% far infrared ray. I had no idea. I just loved the Relax sauna, and it was so much better than the others. I just only now am I getting almost like, my gosh, it's so sad you don't have a Relax sauna. You've got this other sauna. It's like, this is the Mercedes and you're driving a Pinto.
Right. Yeah, and what I tell people too is that people, you don't need any sort of outside tool. This is probably bad for sales and all of that, but I have to be honest here. You don't need a sauna or you don't need a rebounder, but they do come in handy and they do speed up the process. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If it's there, you can utilize it. I've been using the Relax sauna for 13 years now, and it makes my life so much easier. It is. I've had many medical doctors say it's the best investment they've ever made for their health. Dr. Lionel Bissell is the first one, and he's had his Relax sauna maybe 11 years now. I met him at the Anti-Aging Expo in Las Vegas about 12 years ago.
Now, what do you recommend for people for cleaning the inside? And we went to the hardware store because there's a little bit of plastic on the neck portion. And after some time, we failed to properly wipe it down, and so the salt from the sweat of our necks started to corrode the neck area,
yes,
of the plastic. And so we went to the hardware store and got that corrugated plastic tubing, and just wrapped it right around, and it feels great. But in what ways do you recommend people cleaning their sauna?
Well, the best way is to turn the Relax sauna for 5 or 10 minutes after you've gotten out of it.
Oh, just let it run like you would like soap in a blender?
Yes, exactly. And like the bottom of the tent is just nylon, so I say get the best health food store soap, and if it gets dirty, you can just clean it out just like you clean nylon. You could use colloidal silver, or we have a little cheap ozone unit we sell at our health food store, and you can just put any kind of ozone in there, and that sometimes will clean out. Sometimes people have a major detox, and sometimes it'll smell, and the ozone will get that out. Or just by doing the far infrared sauna, the Relax sauna with no one in there will help too. And some people use hydrogen peroxide spray and then to wipe it down with that, or maybe even vinegar. Sure, whatever you can use to clean nylon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really great because we just put towels down on the floor, all over the floor, and then we put a towel over the chair, and it just works perfect. I put a folded bath towel on the chair seat, and then I drape another towel over it, and all the sweat goes onto the bath towel and never on the seat. And then I guess having a small hand towel on the floor where the feet are, and that's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, it's really, really, really great. And so I'm excited because we're going to be moving, and like I said at the beginning of the show, and so it's going to be super easy to move this thing. I would be so distraught if I had one of those huge, big ones right now, and I'd have to figure out how to break that down and reset it up, and it's just a lot of work.
A feather in my cap the other day at a recent show, we had two people. There's a couple, probably half a dozen really good wooden saunas out there, and two different people with one of the other saunas. One person said, "I'm getting the Relax sauna," and the other one, she said, "Well, I'm going to sell mine first." So on the bulletin board, she said she was selling her sauna, not the reason she was selling it so she could buy the Relax sauna.
Oh my gosh!
But we had a colon hydrotherapist in Orlando 3 years ago who bought a Relax sauna for her office, and her $4,000 popular sauna, she sold it for $1,250 like 3 months later so she could buy the Relax sauna for her home as well because she loved it so much more.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I've got this. I mean, I've probably sold at least 50 saunas to people who have $4,000, $5,000 wooden saunas in their home.
Wow.
And they buy it as an upgrade for $1,000, $1,100.
Yeah, we've sold hundreds of them, and
yes, you have.
Yeah, and I love working with you guys, and we've never had one person ever say anything other than, "Oh my gosh, I love it, and it's the best thing ever." We've never had one return. As far as I know, maybe there's been one or two, but as far as I know, everyone's just loved it.
I've seen comments like that about other saunas, and I said, if only they tried the Relax sauna, they would say, "Oh my gosh, my 35-mile-an-hour car I love, but this 80-mile-per-hour car is beyond measure." It's good when you've made a jump up, but like all these people who go by our booth, "Oh, I have a wooden sauna," and when I get them in the sauna, I swear half of them are amazed at the difference in the instant on and how much it's not just. There's something special about the Relax sauna energy. There's something special about it. It's the purity of the light.
Right.
I'm really into purity, and the more pure you are, the more people can feel that. And the Relax sauna can be felt. It's different than any other sauna energy I've ever been in.
And one of the things I like about it the most is your head sticks out. So, but you can still get your thyroid and your neck, and that's still inside the tent. But your head sticks out, and so if you really are averse to sweating, because if I were in one of those saunas where your whole body is in there, I know if my head were in there, I just don't last as long inside the heat.
No, we had a man who owns a health food distributing company that sells to naturopathic doctors and medical doctors, and he actually bought a Relax sauna for his office workers, but his wife didn't know, and his wife never went in the wooden sauna. So we were doing an integrative medical doctor show in San Diego. His wife must have got in the sauna 4 times, 5 times every day. He bought one for his wife, and she uses it because she would never go in because she didn't. People. They don't like having their head in. A lot of people don't. So that's one reason why people love the Relax sauna, because it's exactly what you said.
Yeah. I, for one, I don't like having my head in there. I don't know what it is. I just even sometimes when it's really hot in the summer, I'll put, a fan just blowing on my head, and that helps me stay in longer. And so otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that.
Hey, I'm going to send you for free one of the 200-watt lamps that we have, and you just put that in front of your eyes, close your eyes, and put it in front of your eyes, and put it in front of your face, and you will not believe how good that feels. It just feels so good.
Is that a heat as well, like a heat lamp?
Yeah, it's not a heat lamp; it's a light lamp.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's like instead of a 750-watt lamp like the 2 radiators, it's 200 watts.
Oh.
And it's got a goose neck.
Oh my goodness!
And you just put that in front of your eyes, in front of your teeth. If you ever have a tooth infection or a sore tooth, it's just amazing. My wife was showing a naturopathic doctor that who didn't seem interested in far infrared energy, because some people just don't know about what far infrared energy is. And she said, "Don't you know this gets rid of tooth infection, ... So the lady stuck it there, just a little lamp right by her teeth for about 10 minutes, and the next morning she came back, and saying, "Oh my gosh, all my whole thing drained last night, and I feel great." And even though my wife was pestering her, she said, "I'm buying this sucker. I'm taking it home."
Oh, and my goodness.
So sometimes it's good to pester a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out. That's awesome. Thanks for sending that.
Yeah, we'll get that off today to you.
Oh, that's so great. All right, so is there anything else you want to share about the sauna or sweating in general?
Well, again, it's not the heat, it's the healing light. It's the light that comes out of the sun. It's invisible, not out of the sun, but out of the Relax sauna. And far infrared energy is the energy that the sun lets off, that goes through the sand and resonates with the water and turtle eggs and activates the turtle to actually embryo to grow into a turtle. In the same sense, when you're in the Relax sauna and all that energy goes through all your cells, it gets the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system working together, and it gets the cells in your body that don't know that they're working with you or for you. It activates them to become part of the team of the cells in your body, part of the team, and so all the cells in your body start working together. It integrates all the cells in your body. It cleanses the cells, purifies, and you feel whole. You feel integrated. It's like it's the most amazing energy on the planet that comes out of a machine.
Yeah, I just can't recommend it enough. And if you're in the market for one, I would highly recommend looking more into it and picking one up, because it's such a benefit to your health practice. And there are some things that I do every day, and as a health discipline, and some things fall by the wayside. But the sauna has been, ever since we got it, and once you realize what it's doing to your body and all the benefits, it's one of those things that there's never a time where I get in the sauna. See, sometimes I do things where there might be some side benefit to it, but there's never been a time where I've gotten in the sauna where I've forced myself to do it because I know the benefits. Like, how some people will drink a horrible tasting green juice, but they know it's good for them because it's good for their health, and they force themselves to do it. Although I know all the great things about the sauna, I've always done it because I want to.
Yes, exactly. You love it. And as a matter of fact,
yeah.
water never tastes better when you get out of the Relax sauna. That's when water tastes so good.
I know. I love doing the green juice afterwards. It just feels great. All right, Phil. So your website is momentum98.com, and you can buy a sauna right from there. Or if you want to support us and buy the sauna through us, either way, if you are wanting one of these saunas, I'd appreciate your support. If you want to purchase it from us, that would be great. But either way, pick one of these things up. I think you're really going to love them. And thank you guys all for listening. This was episode 443, and what we're going to do is add this audio interview to our sauna page. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, on the sauna page, there's multiple videos on there if you want to learn more about the sauna from different people other than Phil and myself. But those 2 videos from Dr. Rhonda Patrick are on there as well. That really smart doctor, and we're working on getting her on the show as well. She's a smart cookie. So those are on there, as well as a short little talk from Dr. Brian Clement from Hippocrates Health Institute. So there's some good videos on there that aren't from Phil and myself. So we appreciate your support. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. If you would like to share the show with your friends, please feel free to do that. This was episode 443. And if you want to listen to it on the website, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/443. And stay tuned next week. We've got 3 more shows coming up for you. And we appreciate you guys listening and being a part of everything we're doing. We love you all, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Okay, that was episode 443, and many of you are probably wondering, where's Kate? Where's baby Kate? Well, she had to go run some errands. We sold one of our cars today, actually a couple of days ago, and we're in the process of buying a Prius for better gas mileage and better on the environment. So she's in the middle of test driving a Prius, so she couldn't be on the show today. So we apologize for that, but she'll be on the next ones next week. We've got 3 more shows coming up. Let me go on to our little calendar page and find out who's coming up for you. So a while ago we were doing 1 show a week, and now we're doing 3 shows a week. Let's see here. We got Dr. Frank Gibson on Monday. Can a health imbalance cause binge drinking? That'll be interesting. Dr. Frank Gibson. Also, Cindy Sellers is doing some great things. What do your organs do, and what are they trying to teach you? She runs a great healing retreat out in Hawaii, Cindy Sellers. And then on Friday, we've got Personal and Planetary Wellness with the Certified Health Nut, Troy. I forget what his last name is, Troy. CertifiedHealthNut.com. So we've got some great shows coming for you. And I wanted to let you guys know, too, at the beginning of the show to listen all the way to the end, because I wanted to tell you that if you are listening to this anytime during the time that this has been published, which is today is July 8th, 2016, we are going to be running a sale. We don't do this very often at all. With the sauna, but we're going to be running a sale for the sauna starting, let's see, I think it's going to start this Sunday, so that will be July 10th, 2016, and we're going to run that till Thursday, July 14th, and that's going to be $100 off plus free shipping. So if you want to take advantage of this particular sale, and it happens to be anywhere from July 10th, 2016 to July 14th, 2016. It will be available for $100 off the sauna plus free shipping, which is $25 in the continental United States. Now, if you want to take advantage of it, don't buy it on the website, because we're unable to advertise this on the website. It's going to be an internal thing. So if you're listening to this, or if you're signed up to our newsletter, which I would highly suggest you do, you can sign up to our newsletter, and we let you know of different sales and different offers and promotions of all the different products that are in our store. We're affiliated with lots of different products and companies in our store. They're offering things like saunas and rebounders, and occasionally they, a couple times a year, might run sales. And so if you're signed up to our newsletter list, we let you know about those sales. And we also let you know of all the different shows that we have going on, and the recent shows, and all kinds of cool stuff, free online summits. We let you know all about those when they're launching and when they're running, and those things are awesome because they're basically summits that help people overcome specific health conditions, and they tailor all of their content and interviews to specific health elements. So if you're signed up to our newsletter, we'll let you know about all those. The biggest one I like is the Truth About Cancer. That thing, Ty Bollinger's just an awesome guy. He's a friend of ours, and he runs those, I think, a couple times a year. So, yeah, we're really proud to be connected up with all of these companies that put out such great information for free. So in any event, thank you guys for listening. If you would like to take advantage of that, email me, justin@extremehealthradio.com, only if it is between July 10th and July 14th, 2016. If you have any questions about the sauna, or any other questions of things that are in our store or people we've talked to, I can help you out. Getting much better at emails these days. Not perfect. Don't get back to everybody, but I try. And so in any event, thank you for listening. And if you want to take advantage of that, you can also just email me, and I'll let you know what the next steps are. If you're an international customer, the shipping obviously is more to different places around the world. So if you're an international customer or a continental United States customer, we cannot ship to P.O. boxes, just so you know. And we do need your phone number for shipping purposes, because we relay that on to FedEx or UPS, whoever does the shipping, and that way they can call you if you're not home and let you know that they're attempting to deliver it. I don't want anyone to miss the delivery. And also, if you're international, please contact me first for shipping. Just the other day, we shipped a sauna to Chile, and so we had to work with him and get his specific address so that we can get shipping costs to different places around the world. So we appreciate that. And also allow a couple days for tracking number. It's really challenging to get these tracking numbers out. So if you're listening to this and you have ordered a sauna and are waiting for a tracking number, as soon as it becomes available, you should get notification of that to your email. But if not, let me know and I'll get that tracking number for you. Sometimes the sauna ships so quick and the tracking number takes a couple days to generate, we've had cases where people receive the sauna before they get the tracking number, which is pretty incredible. It's just kind of funny how that works. But in any event, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for visiting our store. Thank you for bookmarking our Amazon link and making all your purchases through Amazon. Thank you for sharing our shows on Facebook and your donations. Those of you who have been donating to us on Patreon and PayPal, my gosh, thank you so much. We just feel so blessed that you guys would do that for us. And if you think we're doing great work or good work and want to help us out, that's how we remain free for all and doing all this free content for everyone. It's your support. So when you guys send donations via Patreon or when you purchase through our Amazon link, it really does help us. And also, thank you guys, too, for sharing our content on Facebook. We really appreciate that. That helps us a lot because it lets all of your friends and fans know about what we're doing. So that way we can help even more people. So, all right, guys, it is Friday. It is time to go outside and spend some time in the sun, maybe go to the beach for a little bit if I can, and see if we got a new Prius. I'll call Kate and see if we got a brand new Prius. All right, guys, thank you so much. We love you guys all, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode next week, Monday morning. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, everybody, this is Josie, Justin's mum. Don't tell him, but I know he would absolutely be really happy if you would sign up to his free weekly newsletter. And don't forget to share this with all your friends. This is the buzzing bumblebee signing off.
Oh my gosh.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even if you educate yourself in the field of live food, nutrition, and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog is discussed in the context of numerous conditions, it can be dangerous